Hello everyone, I'm Oli Perez, and welcome to the Campus Podcast, bringing McAllen ISD students helpful information for campus life. We'd like to welcome today's special guest, Army Staff Sergeant Melody Martinez, who is with the U.S. Army, who's here to talk to us about a career in the U.S. military. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and just get started with learning more about the military as a career pathway. So what exactly is the process to enlist? Because I know sometimes it seems a little lengthy.
Yes, so in reality, it really just depends on the individual. You can enlist within like 2 weeks. Doesn't mean you're going to leave in 2 weeks.
No, yeah.
But basically the process just starts with one, talk to a recruiter, see if you do qualify. So age, being U.S. citizen, permanent resident. Yeah. If you're a senior, junior, on track to graduate, high school diploma, GED, any law violations, any tattoos on your face, neck, or hands. I know tattoos are a big thing right now, so definitely avoid them from the face. But basically, once we see if you qualify, we'll put you on a practice test. And then if we see that you can pass it, we'll put you on the ASVAB, which I know in school they do offer it. It's called the SASVAB. So I definitely recommend taking advantage of it. It is good for 2 years. Once you're good with the test, we'll send you up to MEPS, which is in San Antonio. And then from there, you will see the provider, make sure everything is good medically. And then once you're done with all that, you'll talk to the guidance counselor and sign your contract.
Whoa, cool. A lot of questions there, Loki.
That's okay.
So what type of enlistments are there? Because I know there's like reserves, there's full-time.
Yeah, so we do have active duty, which is full-time. I'm an active duty soldier. Oh, wow. So I'm originally from California.
Whoa,
yes.
Okay, cool.
As soon as I enlisted, finished basic training, my job training, I got stationed in Fort Cavazos, which is here in Texas. So I've been in Texas my whole entire Army career.
Oh, wow.
But active duty, if you want to travel the world, become a little bit more independent, highly recommend.
Very true.
Then we have the reserves, which is part-time, 1 week in a month, 2 weeks out of the year during the summertime. So if you want to focus on being a full-time student, or you're not really quite ready to fully commit, or you just want to get all of the education benefits that you can out of it, then I highly recommend the reserves.
I always wondered about that because I always heard about the reserves, but I never knew. I was like, how does that work?
It basically allows you to stay home if you want to. So let's say your monthly schedule would be like full-time student, those other days, random weekend. I mean, you'll have your schedule ahead of time, so they'll tell you like, hey, on so-and-so this weekend, you have to go to drill. So full-time student, full-time job, whatever you want with your own schedule, as long as you're not getting in trouble.
Oh, yes. That's kind of
then you'll just put on the uniform, and then that's the only time you work for the Army.
That's actually really cool. Yeah. I know within the military, there's like a lot of different careers that you can go into, like the tech, communications, stuff like that. I feel like people have this belief that like, oh, it's just like infantry, you know what I mean? So they don't really understand or know exactly, like there's multiple routes you can take.
Yeah, of course. We have over 150 jobs. If you think about it, we probably have it. We have anything from welding, cybersecurity, something in the medical field. If you're interested in music, you can go ahead and try out for the band as well. And then besides just having our regular jobs too, let's say you're really good at video games, you could try out for our esports team.
They have an esports team?
Yes. Imagine getting paid to play video games, right?
I love it.
We have a softball team. We have wrestling, which they have gone to the Olympics. So the Army itself is just more than just your daily job and what you see being the whole soldier.
Crazy. They have clubs. Hello?
Yeah.
What? That's so cool. I know when you're like enlisted, there's a lot of benefits, especially with schooling. So can you get a degree with that?
Yes. So we do offer tuition assistance. And then from there, you'll have your post 9/11 or your GI Bill, whichever one you have gotten at the time. Basically, that's a scholarship for you to use for school. They can go to a traditional school or they can go to a technical school. It's up to you. And then with you enlisting in Texas, you also qualify for the Hazelwood Act. You just have to use whatever the Army gives you first. So
okay.
definitely take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Hello. Speaking of benefits, you, let's go down the list.
Okay. So for benefits, we have the medical. So I wear contacts, so it does help that vision tests I don't have to pay for. Same thing for the glasses.
Because those get expensive, actually.
They do.
Really quick.
For dental, let's say root canals, wisdom teeth.
Yes.
Once again, pricey. So they do cover your dental. Obviously, the education. And then for those who are married, obviously they have the spousal support. You end up having kids. It does benefit them as well. So it kind of just changes a little bit from there.
Oh, wow. I know about that one because my dad has benefits.
Yes.
So I know with service, it's kind of like it's based on like 4-year trials, right, or something like that. Like how, for serving.
The minimum time is 2 years.
Oh wow! Okay,
yes.
Cool.
But I recommend at least doing the 3 years active time so that you can get all of the education benefits. And then for the reserves, 6 years. Sounds like a lot, but in reality, yeah, it's only 1 weekend though, and then 2 weeks during the summertime. So if you really compare it to somebody who is doing this full time for 4 years, a reservist is still doing less time than them. Yeah. But let's say you sign for a 3-year contract and you're like, you know what? I really love the Army.
I want to do this.
Yes, you can go ahead and sign another contract. Or I love the Army, but I don't like my job. We do offer the opportunity to go ahead and change it. Or let's say you still love the Army, but you want to go take a little bit of a break, go from active to the reserves.
Okay, cool. So you can definitely do like a transition between those?
Yes, even the same thing with reserves. Let's say you sign the 6-year contract. Within like your 4th year, you're like, you know what? I'm ready to go full time. You'll just talk to your chain of command and be like, hey, I want to go active duty. Can you guys let me go so I can go?
That's it. Let me know. Yeah. Let me know.
Yes.
That's cool. Is there like a maximum amount of years?
For an initial contract, yes, it will be the 6 years.
Oh, okay. Because I remember somewhere there was an 8, but I don't remember what.
I'm not exactly sure, but for us, they do have it. So once you hit your 10-year mark, after your 10-year mark, it's kind of like you're in depth. So you have to do the 20. You're halfway there. Might as well go for the full retirement benefits, right?
At that point, gotta invest in it. So I know with preparation, like for kids, if they want to have like opportunities to prepare for this, if they really are serious about it, there's like JROTC here and stuff like that with schools like that. Do you know much about that, or like any information you could share about that with us?
So with the Army itself, we don't expect you to be able to run 5 miles on your first day. We slowly build you up so that you can be at your full potential. But if you want to prepare on your own, obviously working out, cardio is probably going to be the biggest thing. Our office does offer trainings on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. So anybody is welcome to join us.
Check it out.
Yes. But besides the physical thing, I think the biggest part is just going to be a mental game.
With like, okay.
So as long as you don't give up and you push yourself, I guarantee you're going to be okay.
Because I know there's also like the ASVAB, you know what I mean? There's also like, I know some people prepare for that and stuff like that because it's like math, science, all that type of stuff, right? Yes.
So you can look up online. I know Grammar Hero is probably one of the biggest ones. If you are a visual learner when it comes to math, that's probably, and especially if you're in school, take advantage of being in school. You have your teachers, ask them questions. But there are plenty of websites that you can use. The Army itself does have a March to Success. Basically with that, it helps you study for the ASVAB or the SATs. You'll just register, create an account, and then go through everything.
Oh, wow. Cool. So with physical conditioning, like within the Army, what exactly do you guys do?
Okay. So usually our physical activity is from 6:30 to 7:30. It could be anywhere from cardio, so it could be sprints, it could be distance or muscle failure. We do have our physical fitness test, which consists of a deadlift, a ball throw, hand release push-ups. So kind of just using exercises that will prepare you for that.
Wow, that's really cool. Because I know there's a lot that goes into that, actually.
Yes.
Especially with, like, the timing of that stuff is crazy. Well, that about wraps up today's episode. So thank you again to our special guest, Army Staff Sergeant Melody Martinez. Thank you so much for being here and for joining us today and for sharing this important information for our McAllen ISD parents and students about career pathways in the U.S. military.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.